As long, does anybody want to do last time on D&D?
Does anyone remember last time?
I
Is the
hope so.
question.
Yes, we had a interesting character uh encounter where a handful of you met up with a strange lady in an alchemist laboratory, and you had a minor kerfuffle with her before dispatching her, and then meeting the star of the campaign, Zenthal, by a pool, uh, in which you consumed an elixir that transported to you to a realm in which you realize that all of that was a strange dream that you only vaguely remember, and we shoved all of those potions in our backpack and had a Skyrim-esque voyage on a little cart until we got to where we were going, where we met a king who uh, demanded to be named by one of three overly long and annoying names, penalty of death if you didn't get it right, and we talked our way through that, and now we have a quest to go find out whether or not a another king or just another ruler of some kind close by in another city. We're trying to find out if he's dead.
Right.
Uh,
In a city called Ironhaven,
yes,
there's a,
irony.
a
Yes.
dwarven king in the city south of Antaron, and the king is King Whitestone.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys remember correctly, there was a messenger that kind of broke into the king's quarters and said, you know, there was this big issue with the city, and the king was killed by this giant red demon who crashed into the kingdom of Ironhaven. And remember that he's going to give you 1,000 gold upon just going to find out if King Whitestone is alive, and he already gave you 200 gold to start.
Hell yeah.
This is what I get for
And
not doing
it's
my kind of
Stonehaven is what the
recording.
name of the kingdom is?
Ironhaven,
Ironhaven.
and the king's name is King Whitestone.
Yeah.
Whitestone. Alrighty, and you guys just finished talking to the king. Jape convinced him to give you a 200 gold advance on your adventure,
Dang.
thanks to his mad skills.
What?
And so
That's
you guys are you're guided out of the front of the castle, and as you leave the castle, you begin venturing into the massive main city that is Antaron. Antaron is the prized jewel of the kingdom of Aurelia, the country of Aurelia. There have been many years of peace and tranquility under the rule of King Rovanair, and a lot of very vast expansion of the city. Um, Although King Rovanair is a middle-aged king that hasn't produced any heirs, and he's known to be really loud and not very tactful, the people consider the calm enough of a gift to where they pretty much don't mind it at all. Um, as you guys cross the bridge that leads into the city, you see all around you that there are people rushing to and from different merchants. Your
Are
your
there any familiar faces?
there are so many people here
All
that
around me are familiar faces.
no, I'm not. This is not Donnie Darko. I don't see any
You know,
random.
I never saw that.
I don't think you're gonna like it. Anyway,
Don't feel bad for me
um,
either.
there's a massive central lane between the two walls of just towering buildings. Um, and this just there's a bustling center lane of people, and then surrounding each of the people that are moving back and forth, there are stalls of sellers, and sprinkled among all of the people there are an array of races, everything you can think of. If one were to look for even a few minutes, there wouldn't be a race that you couldn't think of being there. Antaron was a city that was built from the joining forces of all these different races and clans that existed across Aurelia. And so you have this melting pot of people and cultures and races. Um, it was created after what's called the Final War. Tired of all of their leaders bickering and sacrificing their lives like pawns, the people of Aurelia, which is named for the deity that most of them worship, were all kind of brought together under King Rovenir when he was only just a hired sword, and he banded everyone together. And after all the dust settled and the leaders were removed from their respective thrones, the people elected that he become the ruler of the kingdom in place of all these other leaders. He accepted the position, and the rest is history. The city has flourished under his rule. Antaron provides a place for you to spend any money the way you want to, and you guys have 200 gold, so that's a pretty good starting spot. The city's main trade was initially a fibrous material called Yorga, similar to like sheep's wool, but taken from these trees called the Dolus trees that grow around the forests of Antaron. And as the city has grown, it isn't their main export anymore, and they only really use that for like rituals, to produce clothing for rituals. Its main export is a type of kelp that they harvest in the bay, and that's used across the country for cord to food and all kinds of other things. The laws are basically anything can be sold or bought as long as it doesn't endanger the lives of citizens, except for slaves. Slaves are completely prohibited, and if you're ever caught doing that, they have they have this activity that they do where they publicly feed you to these creatures that live in the waterways of beneath the city.
You say activity like it's like this fun thing you bring your 5-year-olds to.
They
But then-
do bring their children to
But
it.
then it's
Everyone watches. There's an opening in this small coliseum area, and everyone sits and watches while you are publicly mutilated and eaten by
nothing
these
like
large.
being disemboweled while you're eating some funnel cake.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the best way to live.
It's really the best way to teach the children.
Teach the
Oh,
children.
so you mean like the old days of slavery where they would hang someone and everyone would just have a picnic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the city is yours. I have a picture of it. Let me post that to the Discord.
Yeah, give me that picture.
It's a very large city, to say the very least. You guys will see in a moment how big it is. Let's see. What the fuck? Hang on.
Juice?
It's saying I have to have a pro
Because
thing.
the file's too big?
Yeah. All right. I just made it a JPEG. Go fuck themselves.
Do I look like I
Alright.
know what a JPEG is?
There's the city.
Wait, where's it at?
Oh, that's it. Looks
I
like
just want a picture of a
No,
goddamn hot
we
dog.
can click the open in browser and it comes up and we can view everything.
it just looks blurry though. Oh, there we go.
Damn it, Bobby.
It's not blurry in the browser.
Okay, cool. All right, there's the city of Antaron. If you guys
Where'd
see
you post it?
it is in Beyond the Dead Sea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where are we exactly so we can know?
You are literally walking into what is called Mead Spring, or Mead Spring. I mean,
Oh, did you make this?
Okay,
yes.
This is
Wow.
fucking cool.
Yeah, dude, what the
in
fuck?
The left
Yeah,
side or the right side, like coming from Ravenford, or no, from
Uh,
the Citadel. What?
I like the sweepy words, like the words that kind of follow the
Yeah,
map.
me too. I thought it would
Yeah.
be cool to do that. So do you see the So right in the center, there's that black square. That's the castle. And you guys are crossing this bridge, and you're entering right below where the M is in Mead Spring.
Yeah, coming from the
Okay,
Citadel.
I see.
You're
And-
leaving
and-
Citadel.
Each of these areas has, a very rich culture associated with it. Different groups of people live in different areas, but not because of segregation, but because of just people enjoying to live by people they're similar to.
So this big thing right above the M is a river?
That is Raven Ford. Yeah, it's a river that goes through and around the city and south, and as it goes south, it leads to the city of Ironhaven.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so we're dealing with a pretty massive city, and this black line you have, is this like the sort of the wall
So the
protecting
black
the core
the
of the kingdom?
the thick black line is it's not a wall, it's the main path that most of the trade and function of the city takes place through. So if you look on like Windway, you have a number of places up here in the north, but these are mostly like living spaces. And then
Uh-huh.
in Narrowhorn you have other living spaces, but it's interspersed because it's around the black line. Mead Spring is where the first brewery in the city was made, and
Yeah.
so it heavily affected the distribution of peoples throughout that area, and most of it is dwarven in Mead Spring.
Okay, so this line that makes kind of a janky U shape that goes basically just above
It's
the
basically
W and
the
Wentway
original
to
trade route.
that's a
Yeah,
trade route.
that is the outside line of the original mapping of where the city began. So the city
Okay,
used to be much smaller, and then it's expanded out past that black line, and you can see where the expansion has gone since then.
okay,
So what
gotcha,
he's saying
gotcha.
is there's an inner city, but it's not the projects.
So
Yeah,
is this
pretty
a big
much.
wall?
Yeah, yeah,
It's not
yeah.
a wall. It's just a big pathway. It's just it's a very large opening where the
Stuff like
majority
Main
of
Street cutting through.
yeah, that's exactly what
I,
it's
I
like.
was hoping it was a big wall, and then like you're all like, "There's no more wars," and it would be like Ba Sing Se from Avatar, and be like, "Yeah, there's no war. There
Yep.
is no war in Ba Sing Se."
So yeah, and
Okay.
basically anything you guys can think of can be acquired here. This is the hub of the country. I mean, it's basically like the New York City, so to speak, or like Los Angeles or something.
Your little compass is eating into your words, Sundrip.
I know. It bothers me.
Next iteration, it'll be fixed.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I don't remember why we're here.
Well,
So
this was
you guys were summoned to Antaron by King Rovanair because
Oh yeah, the
initially,
meteorite.
well, no, initially because they were going to experiment on you and use you for as a lab rat, but instead, you guys
Wait,
have
what? They were
been,
gonna experiment on me?
yeah. Remember the Chancellor's experiments? She wanted the greatest in the country, and so she sent for you guys each to be used in her experiments to try to better you for the kingdom. Remember, she looked very similar to some other people that you saw before.
that's what Redbeard picked up on and was trying to tell us, or Bufo.
Right.
Yeah, Buvo.
So,
Like a bitch.
so anyway, she was there to try to utilize your prowess to experiment on you, but you guys kind of narrowly escaped it by being there at just the right moment to go on this quest that King Rovanair has to figure out whether or not King Whitestone is still there.
Oh. Uh, I'm trying to remember now. A few of us were talking, and how many of you remember these potions from a dream that we had of some green fluid?
Let me
I
see.
believe I believe there were
That's
a
right.
few of them.
Uh,
But
I just rolled to see if I could recall, and I'll remember something vague, and I kind of reach in and pull mine out and look at it.
Yeah. Didn't one of you didn't one of you have some potions that you got from uh, in the area that y'all were fighting the crazed scientist?
I got some vials. I didn't get a potion.
That wasn't me.
Hmm. Well, what say you guys about going to some sort of alchemist or tracking down someone in this city who might be able to help us identify these potions or potion.
Yeah, there should be a couple of apothecaries that we can find.
I'll be right back, guys.
No, you won't.
That sounds great. I would love to know exactly what we're dealing with here.
Okay. So, it's not. It doesn't take long if you just ask somebody in the city. Everyone is really friendly for the most part, and people are really open to sharing information. They're very proud of their city. And you come across a dragonborn, and they say, "Oh, I don't know, but there is an inn that you can go to, and they'll be able to direct you right where you need to go. It's called the Black Magnolia, and it gives you directions and basically can kind of suggest that you wind around. And it's in Mead Spring. It's really not far from where you are. And once you get there, you just go a little bit away from where you guys are, and you can. He said that there should be someone there that should be able to kind of guide you on where you need to be. So,
Cool.
as you enter the Black Magnolia Inn, you find yourself amongst smiling faces and laughter. The room has high ceilings and it's abuzz with banter about the incoming Hungering Sea Carnival and Circus hosted by King Rovenir himself. You hear that there are other travelers from all over the place in all kinds of accents, some of which none of you have ever heard before. Some of the travelers talk about being from a place called Nesmar Than, and you will all know this as the country that is to the right of Aurelia. You hear that as a sign of good faith, King Rovenir has given everyone in the kingdom the entire week off from all of their duties.
Ah,
That all of the citizens from Nesmar Than have full room and board and can do just about anything they want to in the city because he's paying for it out of the coffers of the kingdom, which, all of you find this to be an incredibly kind and noble gesture, although a bit strange. You don't really often hear about kings paying for a number of foreigners just to stay with in their kingdom, but you kind of wave it off. At the bar, you see a dragonborn, and he's this she has a colorful frill around her throat and green eyes and red scales. She's relatively tall, but not necessarily for a dragonborn, and very muscular with a very very pointy triangular face. And she's got a pair of what look to be very fancy glasses on.
okay. Jape. All right. I want to wander over to the Dragonborn woman and ask her 2 questions. Can I just straight do that, or do I have to roll for any shit?
No,
or-
yeah.
Yeah.
That's just called role playing, and honestly, you can do that at any time at any point in the game.
Awesome. All right, lit. Okay, well, I'm going to walk over, and Jape's going to strike up a nice conversation. I'm going to say, hello there, dragon lady. I have 2 questions for you. One, me and my beautiful party of friends over here are looking for, I believe, an apothecary or some sort of chemical man. And 2, is it uncharacteristic of the king to be being as kind as he is right now? Because that's very interesting. He gave us a ton of cash to come do a sick mission for him. Everyone in here is getting paid. Earlier, it was threat of death if we didn't get this guy's name right. And now you're telling me he's splashing cash for just every hunt that rolls through. It's just all over the place. So yeah, is the king different lately, or is this just how he normally is?
She removes her glasses and sets them down on the counter, and sighs and said, "Honestly, he's always doing things like this. He's a relatively." She pauses for a while. He's a relatively kind person at heart, but he's not the brightest. I know a lot of people don't want to hear me say that, but the truth of the matter is that if you want a leader, you probably want him to be a little bit smarter than this guy. What was your first question again? I can't remember.
Oh, are there any chemists or apothecaries or anything around also, please?
Yes, there is an apothecary not far from here. What need do you have for an apothecary?
Well, and Jake pulls out the little green potion. We have these strange little green potions and some vague memories to go with them, but none of us, even me, are dumb enough to just drink it straight up. So, yeah, looking for someone who can help us with these.
She lifts her head. You are a strange one, aren't you? You don't seem to mind telling anyone just about anything.
Oh, well, I'm sure we could, battle you if you're some sort of sinister barkeep, but you look pretty lovely. Most dragons in glasses, you've got a prescription for those glasses. Meaning you've got a doctor, meaning you've got a, good head on your shoulders. Got a good feeling about you.
Support structure.
Also, what is the smoking situation in this particular establishment? Just asking for a friend.
I thought that was the first question.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, she will just laugh at what you're talking about. She's obviously not taking you talking about battling her seriously. She thinks that you're flirting with her.
I am in a way.
And she is flirting back with you.
Lit.
She has a thing for she has a proclivity for your
Jeez, I get it.
Your,
it's like
your
real life.
special build.
Ooh. Okay, how do I roll to fuck the dragon?
In true bard fashion.
You could roll to seduce, or what is it? What's the roll to seduce?
Persuasion.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna just put that in the back pocket. I don't roll like that.
And you can roll.
Or performance, however you want to.
Oh yeah,
Sleight
you
of
could do
hand.
that. Sleight of hand.
I'm gonna wait for a tragic event to happen to me. Come back, roll for sympathy. I've got a plan. Don't worry, lads. I am getting this dragon pussy.
And because she's interested in you,
yes.
You get advantage on romancing her.
Gasp. Okay.
But she tells you that normally she wouldn't be so honest with just about anybody, but there's something about you that she likes. And so she says, initially I was going to send you to this one guy that I know, but I'm not sure if he's the right guy for what you're trying to accomplish. Let's see. And so she says there is a specific character, there's a specific person that she thinks that might be a better help to you, and he's not an apothecary. He is an acolyte.
Ooh.
And he serves the god Torm.
Sorry guys, I'm back. Jenny had to leave, and so I had to tell her bye and all that jazz.
That's fine.
All we've done is lightly seduce the barkeep, and we're getting info on where shit is. That's all that's happened.
And she tells you that there is this acolyte. He's a halfling acolyte, and he worships this god of duty and loyalty and paladins. And he might know a little bit more about what you guys are experiencing with your strange potion than just any regular apothecary might. And so she gives you the directions to go there. But before you go, she says, you and all of your party get a free drink on the house. And she gives each of you an ale to drink.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ooh, awesome. Well, I'm holding. Wait, where's my cash? Oh, how do I see my dollars?
You got an inventory?
Yeah, me hearties. Inventory. Okay. I have 210 gold. Is there any sort of way I can put some gold in a little container for it? Any tip jars sitting around?
I mean, you could literally just give her give her money if you wanted to.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is plop 50 gold on the table for her and say I'll be back to earn that back later. Wink.
Good God, that is a lot. Her eyes pop at this. I mean, she has a business and she makes plenty of money, but 50 gold is some change. And so she said I can't wait for you to make it up to me.
Ooh. Well,
Jeez.
with that, I'm gonna go enjoy my ale in the corner.
Or
Enjoy,
make it
lads.
down.
No, I'm coming back later to get that back.
God
Ah.
damn. Yeah.
I removed 50 gold from my thing.
I'm trying to
Yay.
remember what so a peasant's lifestyle is somewhere around
a copper. A modest is 1 gold, which is
Yeah.
supposed to be for like a year or some shit.
it,
Like a
well,
month.
it's like something like a handful of copper a week for like a commoner, and then like for a month of living, it might be fucking a couple silver for a commoner to just live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're talking about 50 fucking gold. That is like fucking royalty shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sweet. I'm big balling like that. Don't worry, I'll make it back. The lads are with me.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just walked up to a fucking bartender and tipped her $100 and said, "Keep the change."
I think it's a lot.
She's
That's more than
sexy though,
$100.
is the thing.
That's more like $1,000 or more.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah, it's
fucking
fucking-
dropping $1,000 on the table,
Oh,
being like,
man.
"There's your tip, bitch."
G status. G status. Okay, that's perfectly in character. I'd like to continue with that.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
I shake
So,
my head disapprovingly.
To be young.
well, I mean, do you guys want to stay here? Do you want to try to talk around with anybody here? Do you guys want to? What do you want to do?
I'd like to. We got a 200 gold advance, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'd like to get outfitted with some equipment.
Uh,
Well, what level am I supposed to be?
you should be 2 right now.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, we were talking earlier. I thought everybody was 3.
You,
So,
it'll happen soon enough.
all right. So, well, I'll.
Got it. Kill the barkeep for XP.
Yeah.
No! Give me
She's
my
not-
gold back.
You thought this was from rags to riches, but it's from rags to the fucking grave, bitch.
No!
It's
If I
like screw-
die, one
it's
of
like
you must
screw-
fuck the dragon.
telling them to get your money back.
I said I'd come back.
Okay. So
Alright.
you would like to go to you want to go to like a blacksmith what kind of gear do you want?
So I would like to get some weapons. I would like to investigate about some better armor, and then possibly just stock up on a couple of small equipment bits for adventuring, just in case. If we're going to a place where apparently some kind of demon killed the king, I would like to make sure I'm wielding more than regular leather in the dagger.
Right. Are you going to ask
I'll extend the invitation to the rest of the party about this before the rest of our money goes up in smoke. I'd like to spend it on something useful.
hookers
So-
and innkeepers?
Not that.
Same
Or is
thing
that
when you
all
got
used?
1,000 gold, baby,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, G.
or $1,000, whatever.
So you can ask Chelsea. Chesself. That's her name.
I didn't even ask a name before I gave
That's
that.
all
Fuck.
offensive dragonborn.
The 50
Chesself.
gold said all it needs.
Yeah.
I'll walk up and ask her. Unlike my friend, I'm currently not looking for an apothecary. I am looking for some kind of place to get outfitted with weapons and equipment before going on a. Hate to use the word quest.
A journey.
I turn around. That word better. Anyway,
She smiles and says, "You know, this is a big city. People come in all the time saying that they're on quests. Don't feel bad about it." And she said, "You'll want to search out the armorer. He dabbles in weaponry, but I don't think you're going to need anything bigger than the stuff that he has. His name is Rolf Torb,
Rolf
Hmm.
Torb.
Torb.
Is he the son
and
of
she
the
gives you
Yeah.
what?
Rolf.
Oh, Rolf. She gives you directions. It is in closer to where Southway is on the map,
Alright.
but Yeah, if you guys want to go there, she gives you the directions on how to get there.
That sounds interesting. Are there any other things happening in the city around here that we might want to see?
Well, she says, everybody is kind of up in arms about the carnival that's coming. It's supposed to be a relatively big deal. All the people are from Nesmarthan who are a part of the carnival. As much as I'd like to go see it, I've got to stick to what I'm doing here. I can't just leave the inn just to anybody.
I mean, with a 50 gold advantage, I can probably close it for a day or two and be
This
fine.
this 50 gold tip has defined the entire campaign.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys if that's what Jape wants to do, if he wants to try to use that to get her to go with him, that's totally a thing.
Am I overhearing any of this?
Yeah, you're
Yeah, you're right there, man.
you guys are
Okay,
close enough
sweet.
earshot.
Okay, I'm gonna lean back on the counter and say, okay, 50 gold. My friend, who is admittedly much smarter than me, has a point. And while I may meet beautiful women, sometimes he's the one who comes up with the ideas on how to charm them even more. So, new plan, Mamacita. Let's go out, close the tavern for a day. I am Big Jape Gabington, Bard Extraordinaire. You know I'm making this cash back, sister. So, we go out. Perhaps you travel along with us to this carnival that we're hearing about. And also, you told my other friend about down in Saithway. Oh, there's a guy, you know, he's got some shit. Man, I know you. I already know you, and guess what? I'm gonna get to know you better later on. Come on, sister. But that's not the guy who's the real armor guy. Tell us the real badass armor dude. I might die. I need a better dagger.
She blushes at what is it?
It said I am backing away, and I'm basically at the door after that.
I start seeing the owl back away.
She kind of blushes and just sort of, you know, she's taken back by all of it. And even though she's relatively, I mean, she's known for being a very forthright, very blunt person.
Lovely.
But you are using those skills, and she is just completely taken back by all of it. She says, "You know what? I think I will go with you guys."
You know what? Get the hell out.
And no sister would ever. You don't know about this one.
Now she's a
Starved.
dragon. Trust.
She's starved, apparently.
Well, Jape has those bard skills, and so
Apparently, he's been whispering sweet nothings. I don't
yeah,
know, but,
Whispering sweet everythings.
sweet
Sweet
everything.
I
everything.
believe that should
Yeah.
go along just to see what this guy is up to.
Wait, what is it?
She's rich.
She's
No,
used
no,
to
no.
the average guy,
What
kind
you
of
need to do is
saying
you
her.
have to persuade her to close the bar and go.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
Yeah. And that's what she's agreed. She's decided that she is going to come with you guys. But she says, I'll come with you, but on one condition. I have a helper in the back. She's always with me everywhere we go. She's kind of like a daughter to me. Do you mind if she comes with us?
In other words, Jake needs a wingman?
Is she also a hot dragon though?
She is a kobold.
What's that?
It's like the gnome.
Basically,
It's like a
small
gnome
gnome.
version of a dragon.
Yeah.
Red.
How sexible is a kobold? Is my real question.
No,
Depends
I would
on
not
how
cons-
far you're willing to go.
Okay,
Yeah.
sweet. That's chill.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
how low you're.
So
willing to go.
she starts to kind of get everybody out of the bar and kind of guiding them out. And before she like grabs her, as she's grabbing her coat and her stuff, she calls out for her helper. She says, "Ashcook, I need you to come with me. We're going on an adventure."
We're getting dick, sister.
This little kobold comes out, and
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
she doesn't. Something about her looks a bit strange. She doesn't really look like a normal kobold to you guys. She's for starters, she's got green and gray scales, and she's
Little
relatively
kobolds.
tall for a kobold. She's like 5'5", which is unusual for kobold.
Jesus.
Yeah, she's very tall for a kobold. And so all of you who are familiar with kobolds, you're probably giving her a bit of a weird eye, and so Chelseth says, "I know that she doesn't look like a normal kobold, but trust me, she is, and she's really a wonderful person. You guys will love her."
She's
So-
as tall as a short dragonborn. What are you talking about?
I know. So anyway, she pops in, and you guys kind of head out. And did you guys want to go to the armor first or the acolyte first, or do you want to try to hit on the kobold?
I think we should go to the acolyte first.
What was
Okay.
that third option? No, I'm just playing.
So you guys kind of snake your way through. A lot of the people are dressed, that you can tell. Night is sort of kind of starting to set in, and it's dark in the city, and people are all sort of dressed in their better clothes, clean clothes. They smell nice, and they're all kind of funneling in the same direction, which is to the south. If you look on the map, it's right above where the P is, that open spot of land. That's where the circus and the carnival has set itself up. And so that is where everybody's kind of funneling through to try to get to. But
So,
you guys,
The pee on me to bring?
the peon pigs,
Oh, pigs there.
Outside the wall, south.
I didn't pee
south.
on anything. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I see where we're at.
yeah, right above, right below Summer District and above Pigstair. So anyway,
Right above the P is what you said.
yeah, above the P. So
No,
anyway,
above the P.
yeah,
You guys are saying pee a lot, and it's just feeling weird.
it's okay. Anyway, so you guys decide that you're going to the acolyte first, and so instead of going straight down, you guys kind of snake over and you cross over the main street, the Black Line,
Yeah.
and you go over to where in Narrowhorn, close to the south, there is a temple down there, and this is a temple. It's kind of a temple for everyone. Anyone can go and worship there. There's no specific god. It is the temple of everyone, basically. And there are a few acolytes that tend this temple, and one of them is Gowis Featherbottom. That's the name of the halfling acolyte, and he is walking around, lighting candles and kind of keeping vigil on things. And you notice that he's got a bald head. There's nothing really about his countenance that makes him stand out at all. He's just kind of a person just there. He has kind of dirty skin though, which is a bit weird. He kind of has his skin looks like he's been rolling around in the ground, but his white coat is clean, which is it's kind of strange.
Yeah,
But,
that boy earns his 50 gold.
He's kind of a beefier guy. He's about 2'7", and he does walk with a limp.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wait, he's 2'7"?
Yeah, he's a hobbit.
See, now the
Oh.
narrative is that this hobbit takes it in the ass for 50 gold.
What the?
What?
It's fanfic.
No.
Your
Oh,
fan.
wait, ain't nothing fiction about it, baby.
I mean,
All right.
all of you can continue ahead. I would like to take a small amount of time to pay my respect to the Infinite One.
You can't fuck the hobbit.
Who?
What?
Wait,
He's
listen,
he's talking about Duros, James. He's talking about his
Just
god.
being an ass.
So yeah, I mean, do you guys want to get his attention? You want to talk to him? What?
Yes.
I will give the.
How are you going to get his attention, Garrett?
A small bow as I walk into the thing. If he addresses me, then I'll respond. But
Yeah, he
unless
sees you and
addresses me, I will.
Fucking
continue.
introverts.
he sees you, and he's got a really, really calm, very low voice. He says, "Hello, can I help any of you with your prayers today?"
Oh, no, thank you. I would just like to pay my respects to Doros.
I'll say yes. I worship Grummash. I would like to pluck out a child's eyeball, just right in the middle. Just any child will do.
Do you actually?
Yeah, I'll say that. No, I don't though.
Oh. Wait, so you don't?
I kept
I don't, but I'm
deciding
gonna
I
say
should
it.
offer up this person as sacrifice or not.
He laughs and says, "Well, we all know that Grommash is actually a deity of patience and understanding. He would never remove the eye of a follower." And
What the
so he
fuck?
turns to you and says, "I respect and see that you are a follower of Duros, Josh." And he
My
says,
name is actually not Josh.
"Oh, you know what I'm saying." Anyway, and so Zenful, yeah, there we go. And so he says if you wish you could come over here, and he guides you to this little plinth where you can kneel or you can sit and pray and just kind of have your own quiet in this little enclosure. Um,
I only need a moment just to pay respects. Nothing more.
he nods and makes a small bow, and then he goes back to the others and says, do any of you need help or understanding or guidance or what can I do to help you?
Oh, no, nothing from me. I don't really have any of those followings.
Have you ever fought a demon?
We fight demons every day here. We fight them inside ourselves.
You ever heard of a big?
I was gonna sarcastically say that, but then you really said it.
This
So
guy
I don't even know where to go. It's completely diffused me.
this man is relatively one dimensional. There's not a lot to. He's also very very young. That's another thing I should have pointed out.
This guy
He
has
is,
a live, laugh, love poster somewhere in his house.
he is not by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, like he's on the cusp of adulthood. He just became an adult.
Oh, this guy gets
happy with
high
my
on life.
current religion. Thank you very much.
Huh?
I said I'm happy with my current religion. Thank you very much.
Well, he's very accepting and respectful of all of you. Whatever you have to say. Even if you told him to go fuck himself, he wouldn't. He isn't the kind of
He didn't like me wanting to disembowel a fucking orphan for Grummash, but all right.
Well, remember the law in the city is that you cannot do anything to harm other citizens or anyone else for that matter inside of the city.
So, yeah,
Harm is a very, very distinct definition, though.
I will go in there. I will light a single candle. I will give a short bow and a short prayer, and then I'll snuff the candle out with my forefinger and thumb.
What do you pray?
Just Doros, give me guidance for the rest of this day, and then I will snuff the light out of the candle as a sort of this birth and cycle of dying. Just snuff, like birth the flame and then snuff it out as a symbolism of dying and move on.
Okay.
Just paying respects more than actually doing anything else.
Right. Anybody else want to do anything?
Done for the last couple centuries.
What is it?
Did he answer my question?
What was your question? Has he ever? Oh, has he ever seen a red?
Heard any clawing about a red demon?
He said there haven't been demons in these parts in many a moon, and although some do in whispers call the tieflings demons, we don't support that kind of speech. And he just kind of tapers off into nothingness. So.
I'm gonna find out this guy's like a huge racist.
Chess Elf and Ash Cook are kind of just. Chess Elf is just kind of sitting here, kind of chatting back and forth with Jape, just kind of talking to him about what he's like and what they're into. Yeah, just vibing. And Ash Cook is like, just kind of happy to be there at all. She's not really. She does.
Kobolds are usually not very bright. She's probably got the IQ of a.
Yeah,
Potato rotating in the microwave.
her intelligence score is a lot lower than a loaf of bread.
Desperately trying not to get hit on by the group of perverts that
I
are
don't-
walking through this area.
I don't even think that a group of perverts is gonna try to hit on a fucking bearded dragon walking around.
Have you seen this group of perverts?
Self-reflection.
Yeah.
He was speaking to a mirror.
Yeah, I heard Jabe doing some self-reflection last night.
What?
Damn it.
All right, Josh has appeared. Josh, we have
I'm here.
acquired a dragon-born innkeeper and her kobold friend who are following the group through the city and going to the circus that has appeared in town. And we are currently at an acolyte's where we were going to talk about asking him some questions about things that were acquired.
Right.
So, do you guys want to ask him questions?
I mean,
I guess I don't know the right question to ask.
Well, you guys were talking about
So, our fine scaly friend here told us that it would be best if we came to see you, who might be more knowledgeable about this. And I'll pull out that little vial. We're not certain exactly what it is. Would you be able to tell us anything? Maybe composition of it, or what it exactly is in its entirety?
are you pulling out the green potion, or are you pulling out the potions that you guys acquired while you were in the in the lab with the?
No, I'm pulling out the green potion instead of my.
Okay. What? No, the potions that you got after you fought the scientist in her lab.
No, I was pulling out the one that we
That I
stuck back in
gave
the
them.
bag. Yeah.
Gotcha. He sees it and kind of wrinkles his eyebrows, his nose, and just kind of looks at it for a moment. And he goes, "Do you mind if I hold it?" I said,
Absolutely here.
"Yeah, go ahead." And so he takes it and
Gets
out
a
of-
big huff of it, and he's like, "It's meth."
out of his coat, he pulls a small dropper, and he reaches in with the tip, and he takes a single drop of it, and he says, "Give me one moment." And he turns around and he walks over to one of the pedestals that's covered in candles, and he opens a drawer, and inside are a number of it's a very deep drawer, and there are a number of large glass containers that have probably 4 gallons of water in them. It's just a huge area, and
Jesse.
he just fights one out of the drawer, and all of you are terrified that he's going to smash this thing on the fucking ground because it's massive. And he wrestles it out and he puts it on the ground, and he pulls the lid off, and he leans in and smells what's at the top. He narrows his eyes for a minute, and then he reaches back over and he puts one drop of the liquid inside of it. And then he waits. And as he does, the inside of the liquid goes from clear to a rainbow of reds and purples and pinks and oranges and yellows. And it doesn't spread the way you would expect it to inside of whenever you put, like, say, if you put a food coloring in water. Shit. It kind of, it almost bubbles and like combusts inside of the water almost. And as it does, it puffs out of the top, and he yanks his head back, and the plume itself comes out in the shape of an hourglass.
Ooh.
And he looks and turns to each of you and says, "Where did you get this from?"
That's
That's a good question.
We need to cook, Jesse.
I
Possibly a
don't exactly
dream.
remember.
A long story.
We seem to have shared a dream, and I believe in that dream I drew these bottles out of a pool of water behind me. But I don't remember exactly why or what our purpose was.
He looks at all of you very skeptically, and he's a bit guarded now. Before he seemed like a very calm, kind of sort of careless individual, but now he's uncomfortable, and you can tell.
Listen here, Joel Osteen. What the fuck is it?
He says, as much as I would like to tell you exactly what this is far beyond anything of my skill set.
If you can
I
give
know
us-
that it has to do with time, but that's as far as my skills go.
Can I insight check him?
Yeah, you can.
That's actually a good idea.
14.
You get the feeling he's telling the truth. He's almost scared looking at what you guys are. He doesn't really know what to think. And he says, I don't think that I can help you anymore on your journey, but I think I can give you the directions of someone who can. And so he kind of stumbles, onto his feet and walks over to a desk where he pulls out a notepad and he scribbles the name of a character of someone in all the way in Ironhaven, oddly enough. And he says, "Here, go to this man. His name is Ragash. He is an orc, and although that may
Sounds
not
like
seem,
a bad bitch.
he says, although that may not seem like someone who would know what you're looking for, I guarantee you he's the only one who can help you here.
What? Can you spell that name?
Ragash.
I'll take the paper from him and fold it up and stuff it in my bag. And I'll ask him, so, coincidentally, we do have to go to Ironhaven as it is. Is there an establishment, building, landmark, something to kind of help us know where Ragash is?
He sighs whenever you say you have to go to Ironhaven and says, of course you do. And he says, yes, there is a way to find him relatively easily once you're in Ironhaven. He is the innkeeper in Ironhaven, but be wary of him. Although he is easily one of the most intelligent people that I know, he is also one of the most formidable. And he leans over and looks out of the window. Whatever you do, make sure that you do it before the next moon.
What happens then?
Oh, okay. You seem a little on edge. What is going through your mind now, friend? We're just here for information. It's nothing against you or anyone else here.
You'll excuse me if I don't believe that I need to share those things.
During the moon's phases, his IBS flares up.
You got it.
Oh,
So-
I think I'm catching your drift here, friend.
You ever heard of werewolves, or these are were shits?
Are you aware of them?
Yeah.
So you said moon. What kind of moon? Like phase? Is the second moon, the fifth moon?
He
I
interrupts you.
believe
And
he said the
says,
next.
the full moon.
Oh, okay then.
Are we talking about the dog variety or a much larger mammal?
Let's just say, no matter what the circumstance, you don't want to be around him whenever that time comes.
Much larger mammal. Got it.
What can you tell us about this carnival?
He sighs and says, I
All
I'm
the
not.
fucking weirdos come out.
The carnival is not really my kind of place. But perhaps you
Feels
guys
though
will enjoy it.
we've exhausted this avenue of information. I have
Yeah, he
time to
wants us
move
to
on.
fuck off.
Yeah,
This man.
he's very clearly like ready for you to go the fuck away.
Do they have like a somewhere to leave offerings or something?
Yeah, there's a thing at the front.
All right. As I pass through, I'll drop a gold in the offerings.
He bows and shakily thanks you.
So I took out my dagger and I sliced my hand open and dropped some blood in it.
He is very uncomfortable.
Jake
call.
was gonna say some fun shit, but seeing that is now immediately gone with his new companions. Like, I'm out.
I give him a proper bow and continue out.
Concerned call.
All right.
Onto the armor. Is that where you guys want to go next?
Was that on the way to the carnival?
You might have to backtrack a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal if you want to.
I mean, I don't really have a reason to go to the armor, so
Oh, Forrest had said that. Well, I can't remember.
Yeah,
how to pronounce his
I
name.
know what I want. So if you'd like to go to the carnival, I can catch up with you in a moment. I just need to go and ask about 3 items.
I mean, it's fine if we don't need to separate the party, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have plenty of time. The carnival is going to be going on for very, very late into the night.
So
I
yeah,
don't plan to make an extended shopping trip. I mainly want to ask about 2 weapons and a new set of armor.
Sweet. Important to stay strapped at the carnival as well. Let's go to the armorer.
All right.
Stay strapped or get capped.
That's right, son.
All right. So you backtrack a little bit, and then you see the armor. Chelseth shows you where it is. When you
Hey.
enter the armorer's shop, you find that there's no light left in the shop. It's so dark, and what little light is that's coming through is kind of streaming through these cracks of the closed shutters on the windows. And it's like dusk outside, but there's just a little bit of light coming through. What light there is coming from this soft glow of orange coals, and it's illuminating the face of this dark-skinned man who is hammering away at this piece of metal between some black tongs. Between the clangs, he hears the clap of the door behind you and raises this thick mask. You know, these glasses that he has on his face. Says, "Aye, do you need anything?"
Yes, I would like to ask about a few things. First, do you carry scimitars?
Ooh.
He drops the metal back onto the the anvil, and he kind of tosses the tongs and the hammer over to the side and grabs a white cloth and dries the sweat from his hands, the oil from his hands, and he walks behind the front desk, and he kneels down and he pulls out 3 sizes of scimitars. One is relatively small; it would fit like a halfling. One is medium and generally would fit for the average sized person, and then the large one is it's not something that you couldn't carry unless you had 2 hands. It's only for very, very large creatures.
One of them fucking Final Fantasy sized scimitars.
Yeah.
Oh, clearly I'd prefer the one more my size. Do you have 2 of them?
He reaches down and grabs a second one.
Alright, I would like to purchase these 2, along with... Do you have a set of studded leather armor?
He nods and he says, "One moment," and he walks to the back of his shop, and on a shelf he pulls a piece out and dusts it off. He goes, "I don't normally mess with this stuff, but I figured I should try to learn how to do it one way or the other." And then he walks back over. It's in perfect condition. It's just a little dusty.
That's fine. Dust can be wiped off. And hey, it's a sale you've made. So how much for this one?
He looks at all of it and says, "I guess I could do 60 gold.
Oh my good sir. Easier said than done. You have a deal. I'd happily give him the 60 gold.
Okay. He does it and hands you over what he's on. He looks at the rest of you and says, anything else?
Jape is going to walk up to the counter and say, hello, my friend. I'm with Chess Elf, and I would like to have 2 requests. I'm wondering, do you have any sort of cloth at all? As in, like, 2 bandanas, my good man? And if not, that's chill. How about daggers? I'm a stabbing type of guy. Hook me up with some delicious dagger action, my friend.
He scratches at his beard and says, he's got this really long white beard that's tied together. And he goes, I don't deal in cloth. That'll be a much different person across the city.
That's
not
chill.
something I really mess with. And he says, but for daggers, I definitely can help you there.
Ooh.
And so he reaches down and he says, I've got a few different ones for you. And so he shows, a number of different daggers. And, they have, like, common ones that are just obvious. Are you guys chatting? Because I am, like, getting notifications, but I am not seeing them anywhere.
Not me.
Okay.
No.
All right. So anyway, he pulls out a number of
These
daggers.
Girl Scout cookies are already getting fucking diabetes.
Ooh.
The
Yeah.
only way to live. He pulls out some really, really small, like, throwing daggers. He pulls out some regular daggers that just, just basic, normal daggers. Nothing really fantastic about them. And then he pulls out a very, very different looking dagger.
Ooh.
He goes, this one is special.
I have to ask, what's special about it? Why is it special, my friend?
Well,
It's part crack pipe.
he steps back and kind of looks at it, and he says, it has a twin. And he reaches down and grabs a second dagger that's also really very different looking. They both look almost like they're crystallized, and they have this sweeping metal that kind of goes around them. One is white and gold, and it has a basket hilt that's kind of softer looking and curving. The other one is purple and white, and has a lot more sharper edges, a lot more things to poke your hands on, but very similar to the first one. He says their names are Pride and Prejudice.
Ooh. Okay.
Kind of like it.
Yeah, that's kind of lit.
Here, I'll show you what they look like.
Oh, sorry. Oh, man, there's pictures.
There are pictures. I have pictures of all the weapons.
And that's more than the barkeep gave you. Oh!
So far.
So far.
There they are.
Okay, lit. Ah, damn. Okay, Jape is gonna take a
Sword
step back,
timber.
slightly. Well, not slightly. Obviously impressed as fuck, and say, "Well, such weapons won't come at a cheap price, I imagine, my friend."
No, they're not. And he looks at you and says, "Tell me, friend, what do you have to trade that is not money?"
He's a dude, right?
Yeah.
Damn it. And nothing.
You're a bard. You don't discriminate.
Time to close those eyes and just let it happen, baby.
It's the Jape Gapington prison arc. Okay. Well. My friend, it's hard to say what I'm holding, if anything, that could be of monetary value. That said,
You can give him your
And I'm
weed,
gonna-
Jape.
I do have a bunch of weed. That's for me, though. He can't have that. I'll come back later. There's so much more smoking to
Completely
happen in
off limits. Cool swords? No, not the weed.
It's not
Do
like my
you-
dogs.
Do you
You
tell
can't
everyone
replace weed.
Do you have anything else to offer him?
I do have, and it's. I'm gonna pull out just I'm just going to pull out my magic green, perhaps time potion. I'm not going to extend it to him. I'm going to say, check this out. There's some crazy shit. I'm not sure what it does, but I'm 90% sure it means I'm on some sort of epic quest, my friend. All I can offer is if I'm not dead by the time I get back to the city, and like I'm looking over at my beautiful dragon lady and saying, I'm not gonna die, I'm just talking to this, I'm just chilling, I'm not actually gonna die. But if I'm not dead by the time I get back, winking, have tons of skits loot. My friends will have even more than me. They're strong. I am a little weak, man. But dude, we're gonna have so much epic stuff, amazing stories, wicked loot. You're investing in my future. What do you say? Can I have the epic swords of destiny? And if I die, my friends will come back, let you know where my corpse is. You can have them back. They'll bring them back. It's no stress. They'll clean them.
Roll me.
They'll clean them.
Roll me a persuasion.
Yes, we'll give them back the top.
23.
Like, keep them for
23?
ourselves.
23.
That's pretty good.
Was that a natural?
It says 20 plus 3.
Yeah,
Dude, that was a nat 20.
That's a nat 20, man. That's
Is that-
a big. If
is that good?
if you roll a 20 on things, it's generally a lot better than all the other stuff.
Yeah, if
Awesome.
before the plus, you just have a flat 20, that's like the best roll you can have.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he
Crit success, basically.
Yeah, it's kind of
raises-
like D&D's critical.
So he
Oh,
raises
darn.
his eyebrows and says, "Something about you.
Yay.
I think I might believe you, but I have another thing that I want to ask. That flask you say that you have, that's the green liquid. Do you have enough to spare a drink of it?"
This is of course, my friend, not an answer I can give you on my own. I'll have to confer with my buddies.
We don't know what the fuck this shit does. Right?
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying,
Yeah,
lads. Like, do we give him
Guinea pig.
give the guy a
Guinea pig.
drop of the mystery liquid? Is that
Do y'all honestly want to like give this dude the fucking elixir to immortality or some shit? Just
It might only be a little bit. It might only be a
just a little
little-
immortality.
a
You
little
know.
immortality.
Bring us a
Probably
glass.
poison. So do it. Who cares?
Well, how much
Yeah.
of this do we have?
You
Enough
each
for a
have
drop.
So you each have a full bottle of this.
Each of us has a full bottle, and Doris teaches that you should live your life to the fullest.
Facts.
That's right.
Bring us a glass. I'll pour a little bit of mine in there for you to try. And as he said, we don't fully know what it is, so all the dangers are on you, friend.
Yeah.
So whenever he sees that all of you have it, he asks, "Have any of you drunk it before? Have any of you tasted it?"
All the time.
Yeah.
yeah, I stay
totally,
sipping on
like-
this.
Once in college, bro.
Have you ever heard of
And-
lean?
And he says,
Only once in a dream.
I guess so.
so he says, after you're trying to convince him and everything, he says, "You know what? If you," and he reaches under the desk and he gets a flask, an empty flask, and he sets it on the counter. He goes, "If each of you give me a little bit of what you have, and you put it in this flask, you can have these knives I've forged."
I will uncork it and drop like an ounce of mine into it.
Anybody else?
Jake,
Nope.
how do you feel about this?
What's in it for me?
Yeah, run it up.
All
There you go.
I will contribute to this endeavor.
Making friends. Or mistakes.
Yeah.
Poor mistake.
Mistakes.
This is. I don't. It's a bad idea.
By living life to the fullest, can you truly understand the restfulness of death?
And that is beautiful, But the swords are sick. Or the daggers, rather. Come on. This is totally worth potentially having to kill this guy later.
So, how much did Skrizz's 1 ounce fill up this vial?
About a quarter of the way. It's a really, really small vial.
All right, so I'll do 2 ounces out of mine. So there's only a
An ounce
single
left.
ounce left.
Yeah.
And
guys-
Japle did the last ounce.
This is each of you has like a liter of this shit. It's not like a small amount. Like you have a shitload of it.
I was
Okay,
assuming
yeah,
we
yeah,
had about,
absolutely.
a Coke bottle's worth.
We
It's
have
a good
like
bit.
those big fucking flack
You-
that you get from the Renaissance Fair.
Yeah, you have plenty of it. It's not like you're like limited. And
Yeah,
the
I
amount
don't
that you
feel bad
drank,
about it.
the amount that you drank, reappeared whenever you appeared where you did.
Okay.
So yeah, there is a single ounce left.
Yeah, Jape's got that. Smack it out.
So you guys fill it all the way up?
Yep.
Okay. He corks it and he sets it down, and he reaches down and pulls out a holster for the daggers, and he says, 25 gold, you can have this too.
Oh, lit. Yeah, here you go, G.
Okay. And so you get Pride and Prejudice.
Sweet.
Do they do anything
Oh, where?
special?
They do. So every time that you get a crit, and you should write this down. Let me know when you're ready.
Yep, I'm trying to find. Like, is this just a thing that I can find in game, or do I have to put us all in custom?
No, this is a
custom item.
I can help you make the
Okay.
item later for you to put in your inventory.
Yeah, just
Sweet.
just,
Okay, yep,
just
yep.
write these notes down. Every time that you crit with one of these weapons or either one of them, not only do you get whatever the effect of the crit is, you also get to roll 2d10 of poison damage, and the opponent becomes poisoned for 1 minute. If you have to roll a DC, or they have to roll a con save against it, and if they fail it, they become poisoned. And they have to beat a DC 15.
So make all those
Nice.
notes after the game. I'll help you make it.
Thank you. Cool. All right, I've written all that down. Copy, paste. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Hold up,
No
everybody.
problem.
John's pretty good at making the items look pretty legit on paper.
Lit. Awesome. Thank you.
All right. So
Still here, and making deals and whatnot. I would like to ask you if I could possibly procure a set of splint mail.
Split
My
mail.
current armor's rather lacking.
Let's see. Does he have it? You said splint mail or split mail?
Splint.
Never heard of it.
He doesn't have split mail, but he has several other forms if you want it. Let's see.
And I am curious. Do you have any rapiers?
Like
You know,
rapier.
the red and blue kind. Anything with those embellishments. Schemes.
I don't know if he does have rapiers, honestly.
I was going to say, if you just wanted a rapier, you can have mine.
Well, no, I have some. I just want something that's a little bit more
Juicy.
flourishable looking. More.
If you have some, then perhaps it'd be easier to go to like a jeweler or something to give you your, as you said, embellishments
Well,
to your
I mean,
weapons.
it's more so design-wise. I mean, yeah, I can add some gems to it, but I want something that's more easier on the eyes.
He says, I don't have any rapiers right now, but if you want, I can always make one for you in the meantime. To Zenthal, he says, I don't have splint mail, but I do have a set of chain mail, and I have scale mail.
Well, as you can obviously see, I wear scale already. I would like something at least marginally better. Chainmail could do the trick. How much would you ask for your chainmail?
He says 75 gold.
That is a quite a fair offer, so I will take you up on that, and I will give you 80 gold in
He,
hopes that you recall me later on and possibly get me something nicer in the future.
he laughs and says, well, I always like to make build a relationship with my customers, so here you go. Here's the chainmail, and I will remember this. Thank you.
You're quite welcome, young man.
Anybody else?
And I will take it.
All right.
What's the
Yeah.
turnaround time on these rapiers?
He says, well, it has a lot to do with whether or not I have the metals, and whether I need to get them from Ironhaven or a number of things. What would you like it made of?
Uh, kind of like a mix between maybe like a Damascus wave look, kind of anything with a little bit of a sea theme to it as well.
Okay. Well, depending on how much money you have, I could also imbue it with some special features.
Well, how much would you? Because once I get back, we're gonna make a little trip. But when we get back, we're gonna have a quite a bit more than what I have now. So, is there anything that you would need, sort of as a upfront fee?
Uh, no, I don't mind. This city has housed me and given me the kind of life that I always dreamed of as a young man, and I tend to try to trust the people who are here. I've never been wronged, but there is a first time. But for you, I think I'll make an exception and not worry about it. Um, if you wish to have it become something of a special item, just say the word and I'll begin working on it. It should take me about a week or so.
Oh, then yes. Please start on that for me, and we will be back within the time. And I'll stop on in and see how things are faring.
He nods and if everybody's done, he goes back to what he's doing.
Do you have somewhere I can change into this chainmail? And would you be interested in a slightly used scale mail?
He chuckles and says, well, it's not every day that people offer to hand me their old armor, but I mean, I could always use the parts.
I'm just standing there in my studded leather armor, like, oh, you need to change?
Yeah. I mean, he just doesn't really take you seriously when you talk about changing. Nobody really gives a shit. It's an armor shop.
Yeah, I mean, I just stripped and put on the new suit.
Yeah. So it's a little bit awkward because all of the belts and everything that sort of adhere this armor to him dig way further into the cloth and everything that wraps his body than it really should. for a
I mean, if you
normal
want
living
there,
being. So he
yeah,
he kind of goes and does his best to make it look like there's possibly something alive underneath all of this. But he does essentially, for lack of a better term, has like uh basically potato sacks covering his entire body underneath his armor, just to so that there's this layer that you can't see what he's doing, what's going on underneath.
yeah.
But yeah, he'll shed all of this stuff and bring his scale mail up after he's done.
For the most part, everybody kind of turns their heads and lets you do your thing.
Gabe watches intently.
Fully erect.
You have some interesting kinks, young man.
I'm a musician seeking inspiration, and that is all, sir.
I'm a drummer. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, you guys, if you guys are done, he's gonna go back to his stuff and kind of do his own thing.
How much is he willing to give me for this scale mail?
25 gold.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So, yeah, you guys are free to go anywhere else if you want to, or you guys can head to the circus, whichever one you guys want.
With El Carnival now.
What?
I'm going to the carnival.
Okay. Everybody onto the carnival.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
fuck yeah!
Yeah, let's get
All
some
right.
Yeah.
As you exit the city, the buildings of the city, you find that there's this well-worn path through the grass. There's been so many people on their way through here, not only setting up the carnival, but going to and from it. It's been very busy. And outside, before you actually get into the actual, the proper part of the city, you see that there is a duck Aarakocra sitting outside
A duck one.
playing bagpipes.
What's he doing that with no lips?
That
What?
is quite interesting.
I already had that shit ready. All right.
Can I just switch my character this guy, in fact?
What is it?
I said I want him in my party. Actually, can I just switch to being this guy?
This is Ari's character.
Oh, okay.
You
Good.
cannot be me.
Yeah, that was good enough for a PC.
Her name, their name is Meep.
Meep.
Oh my god.
Hi, Meep.
Oh, are you friendship? I am Meep.
Oh, yeah. This is gonna be sick.
What are you?
I'm just sitting there in the middle of the field playing my bagpipes, and there's like a bunch of people are just ignoring me. They're like avoiding eye contact, just not looking at me. Like jump to my feet and I'm like run over to you, and I'm like right in your face. Oh, Meep is Meep. Who are you?
Terrified.
Bagpipes are an acquired taste.
Ducks are just scary.
Truly, Doros must have sent you to us, because you play quite well for such a unusual instrument.
Says thank you. Who is Doris?
Oh, Doros is the Infinite One, the god of life and death.
That simple, huh?
Friend-shaped?
He is friends to all. He gave you a gift the day you were born, and he will give you a second gift the day that you die.
Meep doesn't know how to answer that.
I'm just picturing Poe's dad from
Panda.
Kung Fu Panda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grandpa waxes poetic once he hits 80, you know.
Yeah. So I they're gonna go into the carnival. Does anybody wish to?
Meep, I'm Chris. There's, as you can see, there's quite a large amount of us. Uh, I don't know how you feel about it, but if you'd like to join us for the carnival, you're more than welcome to. Just in case things, I don't know how you feel about crowds or anything, but if you want more of
Best
a,
friends now? Meep would love to come, but, well, Meep can't go in. He got kicked out.
Yes, Meep
Just like
was
bagpipes.
Meep was one of the.
the bagpipes.
Meep was hot. She tried to apply to be in the carnival, but after they realized that she was a bagpipe playing Aarakocra duck, they all got a little frustrated.
Yeah, you don't fuck around, or she's gonna shove that bagpipe down your windpipe.
Motherfucker.
Well, Meep, do you have any kind of disguise you could put on?
You can do this, and she just and they just hold up the bagpipe in front of their face and hunker down so they're hidden behind it.
That's adorable.
I have an idea. I walk up to Meep and I pull out a disguise kit. I take some of the ash I have in it, and I'm like, close your eyes, and I go around your eyes and say, see, pretend you're a swan.
Stretch my neck out as far as I can. I'm standing on the edge of my feet.
Perfect.
I know.
Oh, wow.
Just don't
All
call
right.
yourself Meep with the ash.
You are now Beep.
Meep is Meep. Okay, Meep is Meep.
All right, so you guys head into the carnival. And as you begin to walk down this large path, you see a number of these huge signs painted in these just really vibrant colors. The first one says, "Witness the hooked horror of Drolf's Wharf." The second one says, "Can you survive the Hall of Mimics?" The third says, "Prepare your eyes for the power of the B-Rex."
Whoa, what the what?
What will the future hold? Only Zoltan the Magnificent truly knows.
Zoltan.
Oh.
Test your might against Grimbo, the halfling strongman. Masters of the wild owl boars, Tim and Tam. Hold your breath as the twin barkling acrobats dazzle like mercury as they float in midair.
Fuck.
And you find yourself beyond all of the signs in a horde of patrons vying to see the most wondrous sights of the hungering sea carnival and circus.
Okay.
Do you wanna go into the main tent and see the main attraction, like the whole thing that they're gonna do, the performance, or do you want to kind of go to any of the acts individually?
Oh, haunted maze, haunted house, haunted haunted place, please.
There's no haunted. What do you mean, like the Hall of
Oh
Mimics?
shit! No, there was like a hall of mirrors or something, right?
Mimics.
Yeah, mimics. Yes, please.
Hall
Let's
of
go to the hall.
Mimics.
Everybody, please. What is a mimic? Let's go there. Come on, everybody. Surely.
I'm just curious about Tim and Tam.
Tim and
Oh,
Tam.
What was it, Halfling Strongman or something?
Grimbo, the halfling strongman.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I might change mine to Grimbo. Surely Grimbo.
I'm going to Grimbo.
Yeah, let's go
Grimbo?
visit Grimbo.
Something deep within me tells me that mimics are a terrible thing.
Patrick, are they serving any seafood?
Or
Yes. As soon as you say that out loud, Chess Elf looks over to you and says, "I sure hope not. I'm allergic to lobsters."
Oh, yes.
My ears perk up for a reason I can't explain.
Lobsters, you say?
Lobsters. Yeah. So,
She would love seafood.
are we going to Grimbo first?
Yes.
All
Yes,
right.
please.
You guys, and I have a little I have a little map of the area if you guys wish to see it.
Yes.
On to let's all go see Grimbo. Afterwards, we'll get McDonald's.
On the way, just for my head, what is Meep?
Meep is a bird person, a duck bird person.
Okay.
Bird.
How?
A lot larger than your other two bird friends.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, how big is Meep?
So basically, Aarakocra are a race of like eagle people, and then later they also released Kenku and Owlin. Aarakocra are the original, but they have different versions. Aarakocra, pelicans, and ducks.
How do I spell this really quickly?
Hold on, I'm about to go look in character details.
I'm so
Well,
sorry to be
Ari,
just
if you-
No, that's fine.
My bad.
I should have gotten you to do that. Ari, do you want to describe your character to everyone?
Oh shoot.
I just already
character
love
session
Meep, and I just
somewhere.
need to know what Meep looks like.
No, it's cool. All of those are reasonable questions, man. That's
Thanks. Sorry, my bad.
No, don't be sorry.
Okay, so Meep is chaotic good, non-binary with yellow eyes, and is about 4'6".
4'6".
They have mostly yellow fur, though they do have black tips on their wings and crest. They are 2 years old, and they are extremely loyal, but also have the tendency to be extremely obnoxious, completely on accident. And they got kicked out of their clan very recently for being obnoxious, and so now they are on a grand journey to find a best friend.
Jar Jar Binks bird, awesome.
A duckling.
How are you
Yeah,
spelling meat just for my own purposes?
Take peep, but replace the first P with an M.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
what?
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at Aarakocra celebrations now. I thought a penguin one.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys all sort of filter over and find on top of this raised wooden platform, everybody kind of crowding around and waiting quietly, whispering to one another, and then a tall man who looks a bit strange. You can't really figure out why, but all of you feel like something's just a little off. He stands up. He's wearing a long black cloak with long tails on it and a top hat. He carries an air of superiority about himself, and he walks up and looks over the crowd and says, "Today, you will all see a masterpiece. You will witness the full strength and power of a true strongman. Here before you, witness Grimbo, the halfling strongman." And this little hobbit wobbles out. He's pretty squatty looking, but he's not muscular necessarily. He just kind of looks like a regular kind of a like a bit of a chunkier miniature human. Nothing really fantastic about him. He's wearing a leotard. And he walks out and he stands on the platform and he looks around and he raises his hands and everybody kind of like, yeah, whatever. They're waiting to see what he does. And he hops down and he reaches over to the man who introduced him, and with one arm he picks him up over his head. And everybody kind of half-ass cheers, and there's not a lot going on. Everybody's just kind of like, whatever. And then he walks behind a curtain, and he pulls out a large piece of metal. And he looks over the crowd, and he holds it up for everyone to see what it is. And then he bends it in half. Roll perception.
Oh boy.
13.
Perception.
That's a 10.
15.
19.
Oh,
19 as well.
The whopping 9.
that's a 12.
Who got 19s?
Me?
Bufo did.
Okay. both of you look at one another and then look back to the strong man. And then you lean over to your other companions and say, it's not, it's aluminum. And the strong man hears you. And he said, what did you say? And one
That's
of you shouts,
aluminum! He doesn't know!
yeah. And everybody goes, oh, and they start grouching at him, and it gets louder and louder, and he's like, okay, no, that's not aluminum. Perhaps that was just left in my tent. I can't tell the difference between flimsy metals and hard ones because of how strong I am. And he says, here, let me show you. And so he reaches down, and there's a thick book, about 4 or 5 inches thick, and about as big as his chest. And he barely can fit his hands around it, and he goes, "Rah!" and he rips it in half. Roll perception.
That was
22.
You said 22?
19 plus 3.
God damn, all right.
14.
20.
Okay,
20.
anybody who gets above a 19 can see that the book was torn beforehand and just glued back together.
Unbelievable.
He actually
Is your
didn't do
book
that
broken?
the right way. It's quite easy to do if you just bunch things together, so you're only tearing a little bit at a time.
He turns red and he goes, I don't know what this. Yeah, that's ridiculous. I've never heard of anything in my life. And he throws the book at the crowd and just walks behind the curtain. And the man in the suit goes, well, yeah, it's all right. I think everyone's just a bit confused here. If you'd like to come see our next exhibit, please meet me at over over there. And he points to the Tim and Tam.
I'll shout out, what if I challenge him to an arm wrestle?
He looks at you and says, you would not want to do that. Now, roll me a fuck.
Insight, investigation.
No,
trying to intimidate him would be like a wisdom
Animal
save.
handling.
no, it's not that. Just roll me
Persuasion, or
a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. That's a flat 16.
You feel like he's right. You probably don't want to wrestle that guy. Something scares you about that small halfling all of a sudden. You're really not sure why, but you really don't want to arm wrestle him anymore.
oh, did you roll? I didn't hear it.
I
He
did.
said 16.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Probably would have been inside as well.
I mean, well, no, it's not. It's not insight. I mean, you can roll insight on him.
It's
He
the
probably
same
cast a
modifier.
spell on you. He may
Oh.
have cast a spell on you.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
I cast gun.
Gun.
I cast bang.
Hey,
bang.
Cast iron. Cast iron.
I cast these hands.
So, the ringleader, the man who was telling you that, he kind of books it over to where Tim and Tam's tent is, where they're going to be performing their next act. And you
Can you
guys,
cast Identify on the Hobbit?
Identifying usually only pertains to items.
It says if you touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are
you can
currently
see what-
affecting it.
Oh, that it is.
Yeah, you could do it. It's one of the. Can you resist that? I don't actually know.
Does it say there's a save?
I don't see.
I think the save is not getting touched by someone casting Identify.
So what all does identify tell you?
Just says if there are any spells currently affecting the thing you're touching.
Oh, okay. No, there's no spells that are affecting him.
Oh, okay.
He is
I go up anyway and like touch him on the face.
he slaps your he slaps your hand away and he's like, don't You look.
Consent, consent, my
He narrows his eyes and goes, "You look familiar."
He's not. No.
I say, come on, Feep. We're looking at Tim and Tam.
As you walk off, he just kind of looks at you like, "There's something about that one. I don't know what it is." And as you guys kind of approach the Tim and Tam area, it's a bit of a larger tent. This is not outside; it's enclosed, and there are two like cage grills in the back of the tent that house two very large owl bears. And Tim and Tam, who are gnomes, are kind of like jumping, doing sort of like this weird acrobatics thing in the middle of in the arena while people are watching, and they're like doing like hup 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 all this shit, and one of them has a whip. And he cracks something, like part of the cage on each one, and the grills fly open, and these two massive owlbears kind of creep out. And they roar and slash at Tim and Tam, and they just, kind of do the thing, and he cracks his whips. And one of the owlbears swallows Tim whole, completely whole. And everybody's aghast. Oh no, oh my god. And then Tam doesn't seem to really give a shit. And then Tam is swallowed by one of the owlbears, the same owlbear that swallowed Tim. And they kind of circle. Yeah, right. And then they kind of circle around for a minute and stare at people and kind of begin to sort of creep toward the people. Some people are already running out of the tent. And then all of a sudden it starts to gag and then vomits Tim and Tam up. And you see that. Well, actually, give me a perception roll.
I was going to yell, okay, do Grimbo next. 13.
17.
17.
Does the owlbear look distressed in any way, like he's being forced to do this?
Yeah, it does not look well taken care of either. It's just sort of a. It's
Buffo's
clearly
not
not
having any of it. He does not really care to see anything that's like him be treated this way. So he's kind of disgusted on the side.
Right.
I got 17.
So all of you notice that in Tam's hand there's a handful of grass, and you're not really sure what it is, but something smells like shit all of a sudden, and you just kind of want to get the fuck out of that tent.
He wants to save the new friends.
What is what?
He wants to save the new friends.
You having been a part of the circus know that Tim and Tam actually have about a dozen owlbears that are part of this circus, and they consistently do this shit where they get swallowed and vomited back out because they use a special herb called rot grass, and whenever it's growing, it doesn't smell nasty until it hits the stomach acid, and then it starts to smell like shit.
So what you're saying is we need to free all 12 of the owlbears.
Well, that would be 6 owlbears, but yeah. You could totally find a way to free the owlbears.
Turns to look at you. The rest of you.
What do we do when we have 6 owlbears?
Anything the fuck we want.
That's what I'm saying.
I look at Jape right now. We're not keeping them. We already have 3 birds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Bird
We
collection.
don't need 6 more bird bears. all right?
Okay, then.
New friends don't need to be kept. New friends need to be free.
So, can we turn to Chesself and say hello? Do you know anyone around the place who could potentially, and also ethically, are you still willing to sleep with me if I steal all these owl things, or what's going on with that?
She laughs and says, "Believe me, that's not the worst thing I've heard before."
Oh, sick. Okay.
Damn, unbeatable Riz.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. WJ from the chat.
This character, I want to be very clear. I did not make this character. This is an automatically generated character, and she is bat bit crazy.
Word.
Yeah.
So the fact that like all this stuff, I know I'm doing ad lib and some of it obviously, but like this is what her character would be doing from
Yeah,
from
you think any of the shit you're saying is crazy? She fucking picks her ass with her toes.
Yeah. Ooh.
Good God, James.
The words
now.
that come out of your mouth in the order that they do.
Only James.
See, I'll say some shit like that, and these fucking guys will just like take it to heart. And the rest of the campaign, I swear to God, they will be quoting me saying this about this character.
It's
I
probably
believe,
true. I can't
no,
say.
I believe
Well,
this. A
now
lot
it's
of people are going to
canon.
be asking about every character we find now, James.
been
You have to
spoken
pick your
aloud.
ass with your toes.
Gosh, I mean, you remember what pitch started off as, right?
I do remember
Oh, yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Pitch's dilemma.
Just
It's not really a dilemma. It's just you guys are
would get
fucking
hot and
sick.
bothered anytime he saw a dog. He's hot and bothered under the collar.
I'll tell
So
you later, Sean.
I make one joke. I make
I think
one
you've
joke.
told me.
Probably.
I said
so
something about him fucking finger blasting a dog. Anyway,
God damn it.
anyway,
I make one joke.
so people are like getting out of the tent. The Tim and Tam thing just doesn't seem like it's working out. It's just not. It's something's off. And
Yeah, it sucks ass.
before Athalos can even try to start things up and kind of get things back going, he notices what's happening and he's trying to keep people at the carnival. And so he says, if you want, you can come see the Hall of Mimics. And he kind of tries to use some kind of flourish, but it just kind of falls flat.
As
Wanna see
people
that
are leaving the
dog
tent, Bufo is going to kind of ease his way out with the crowd and start trying to look to see where these cages possibly are for these owl bears.
Um,
Oh yeah, we were saving those. I was excited for the Hall of Mimics. Fuck.
well, I mean,
I mean, you can still go, but Bufo
Yes.
is on a personal mission.
it is
Okay, those
nighttime,
sounds next.
but even when you do find them, know that there are enough people everywhere to where it doesn't really matter. They'll be able to see you in a heartbeat. So,
come back at 4 a.m.
Probably come back later after the carnival's closed, sneak
Right,
in,
right.
and then unlock all the cages.
you notice
And then
that
let the owlbears get loose and possibly destroy the carnival. Just covering your tracks, saying it was some kind of loose attack. They didn't lock them up at night. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm a stick with Bufo, and giving my background and things that I've done, I'm also gonna kind of scout what areas would be the highest probability of succeeding.
So, give me, I guess survival.
14.
So it's not really hard to tell. I mean, this place is not set up for that. Nobody's expecting anyone to crash this carnival. Everybody's really excited about it. There's not a whole lot of crime in the city. There's like one district that has some crime in it, and for the most part, it's not much to worry about. And so, for the most part, nobody really gives a shit. You can totally see where all 6 of the cages are. They are directly behind the tent you guys are just at, and 2 of them are just plugged up to the tent. And every time they have to switch out to a new set of them, they just move them over. That's all they have to do. Excuse me.
I think we should come back after we see everything, after the crowds have died down, and then release the new friends into the world.
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys
Hall of
want
Mimics.
Hall of Mimics.
Hall of Mimics? Okay.
All of them.
So,
If
you
think
guys-
about it, the circus is just a slavery ring for animals that aren't quite as intelligent as us.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, slavery's bad unless you're an animal, apparently.
Yeah. As you cross, kind of going across to where the Hall of Mimics is, you see another tent called and it's the sign is much smaller, but it's just a one-person tent, a really small tent, and it has on the sign the illustrated man.
Ooh.
Yeah, I figured you're who I named that I for, because I'm pretty sure you were the only person who's going to catch it. But you guys can go into the Hall of Mimics, and as you do, whenever you enter, you notice that all along on both sides, left and right, there are a number of different kind of like cubicles almost, and within each one, there is a different item sitting on a little pedestal.
Hello, Khalib.
Hello.
Yo.
I saw it.
So
What?
the first one, the first item has in each little plinth, in each little area, there's like a small little thing, kind of like a stool. So if you guys, as you enter, the first one to your right, you see by itself is a shimmering butter knife.
Shiny. Is there anything else weird about it?
No, it's just a butter knife.
Is there any butter around?
I touch it.
Is there any butter? No.
There is no butter, and it is behind a screen, but you can put your hand on the screen if you want to.
Put my hand on the screen.
Okay, roll me a flat d20.
Okay. Okay.
How's it gonna roll?
6.
As you place your hand against the screen, right as your skin touches it, the knife comes to life and a tongue shoots out like a frog's tongue and sticks to your hand.
Yeah.
Like, you mean where the screen is touching my hand? Or
Well,
like it actually reaches through and touches my hand?
It's got little bitty holes, and its tongue is able to kind of stick to your hand through them. Not very well, but it's still doing it.
I have an idea.
Okay, then I close my hand and I grab onto it. Not letting go. It's my friend now.
Wow.
It starts to screech, and
My new friend!
Don't hurt the tongue too much, please.
as it and as it does, Althalos, the ringleader, the ring master, whatever the hell his name is. Yeah, he walks up and says, "Stop!" And he like slaps your hand, and he taps on a sign that says, "Do not touch the merchandise."
I'm selling it.
Being read.
The thing touched her.
How much for it?
He turns to you and says, "I don't think you have enough money for that." And roll me a wisdom save.
Oh.
Hey, I'm not even gonna tell you the bonuses on that one. It's a fail.
You don't feel like you want to buy that thing anymore.
I'm gonna cast gun.
Damn. I guess you're right. I guess maybe I'll do that. What's the next one? I'm
Too
not
bad we
gonna
don't
buy
have-
the next one though.
We need Yarick to cast iron.
Cast iron.
I cast
Reluctantly
axe.
releases the knife tongue.
You said you do release the knife tongue?
Yes, reluctantly.
It goes back into the mouth and then it turns back into a regular looking butter knife.
My friend.
God, I want to play Jarg now. Fuck.
As you continue, you see
I'll cast painful shit.
you see an empty bottle. You see a sponge. You see a teapot. You see a stuffed animal. And you see a crow. And that's the last one in the Hall of Mimics.
A crow.
I look at
I
him.
like to greet the new friend. He says
Look at him.
hello.
I'll add it.
What is it?
He calls it the crow.
Can you repeat those? A crow, a something, and a something.
Oh God, I don't remember all of them.
The crow like stuck out, but like I lost the other.
A
There's a
sponge.
stuffed animal. And
That's
there's
right, a sponge.
Garrett, you thought Patrick didn't take notes in your campaign. Well, let me let you know he doesn't
Oh,
take notes in his own campaign.
Dude, you should.
Those
I just
are
don't have.
random items. That's all you need.
These are.
I'm just fucking with y'all.
I wanted to. No, I really did want to randomize these because I knew if I thought about them and wrote them down, I'd kind of go into a hole of ADD, and I didn't want to do that too much. But the crow one is one that I wanted to stick with. You said
Okay.
you call at the crow.
Yes.
He is a crow
Didn't
man.
you change your name?
Yes,
Okay, what is it now?
Samuel.
Samuel.
Sammy.
About Holden
No,
Anthony
Holden.
Gunn.
Samuel what?
Holding a gun.
Samuel Holden.
Samuel Holden.
Forrest, didn't you want to change your name as well?
He did.
Oh, I just spelled it differently, so it's spelled how it sounds.
Oh, okay.
How did you
how is
spell
it
it?
spelled now?
It should be in character detail. Yeah, the way it's in character details is correct.
All right, let me double check that I got that right.
Oh, okay, I see.
Guinea pig.
Wait, what?
So
So
Oh, you got the guinea pig?
yeah.
Oh no, not with me,
it's,
but like
so
just thinking about him.
Yeah, so
So, whenever you speak to the crow, you call to the crow. The crow looks at you and says, "Samuel, what is it that you want to say to me?"
Oh.
Nobody else can
Bird
understand
up.
it but you.
Wait, what?
Only you can understand it.
How do you know my name?
Why, Samuel, I know all of your names. I know all of your deeds.
Quote the raven.
Done dirt
Never
cheap.
I leave.
I leave.
Sorry.
You don't want to
He's
ask.
seen your internet history.
He's seen your internet history. You don't want to ask him anything
How
else?
do you know this? Tell me now, bird, before you get exploded with a gun.
Samuel,
Beast bird.
you know that you can never escape your past.
I can. I will.
The bird just caws like a regular crow, and that's that.
Do we hear our crow friend having an
This shit
existential
going
crisis?
on.
Yeah, you heard him questioning the bird. Yeah.
This bird.
So we just heard him yelling at this bird, like, "I will run from my past. You don't know me.
You're
You
not
don't
my
have the
real.
badges.
You're not my mom.
You don't know
You
my
don't know
story."
me.
Just to control me.
You're not my dad.
You're not my real dad.
the same goes. I don't remember.
So is it because he's a Kenku that he can understand it, or is it because he was isolated out from all of us?
It has nothing to do with his
Feels
heritage.
plot related.
Spooky ghost thing.
I keep my hand firmly on my gun.
And as you do, you exit the Hall of Mimics.
That boy always keeps that thing on him.
Yeah, that was pretty much what I thought. Just some craziness. Sick. That was fun.
All right, there are several other places to go. You notice that there is you know where the tent where the illustrated man is. You also see that across the way, that near where they were doing the initial thing that you guys got there to look at, that there is a magician who is doing some magic tricks.
Ah.
You hear that he is calling for some help. He wants someone to help him out.
My friend Squeeze loves volunteering for stuff.
Who's volunteering?
Rolly.
Anyone but me.
Uh,
I'll do
Always
it.
wants
I'll
to
do
help.
it.
so everybody who wants to roll me a d20.
All right, I'm getting in on this.
That's a 4.
17.
Oh, nope.
Wait, what's this? Help with something?
There's a
Or-
magician, and he's asking for someone out of the crowd to come and volunteer.
Always wants to help.
13.
Anybody else?
Too shaky
no.
bro.
I think Alric got it.
No, none of you got it.
No.
Hang on. I have to roll a couple of times. Okay, good. None of you were chosen. Instead, there was this kind of large Loxodon toward the back who seemed to be by himself. And he gets picked and he goes up to the front. Do you know what a Loxodon is?
He gets
I'm
shanked
Googling it
on the
now.
way in.
I do not.
A
It's an
Loxodon.
elephant man.
Oh, yeah, sick.
Oh,
Yeah. So he
My
goes
bad.
up to the front,
The
and
fat
this
one.
magician kind of, in a very cheesy way, kind of waves this cloak around, and he flicks the cloak, and he pulls it back, and the Loxodon is gone.
Whoa.
Goodbye.
Flash.
Now, he says, now I
Big
will
trap
make
door.
him reappear.
Dumbo drop.
And he takes the cloak, and he throws it, and he throws it, and he throws it up one last time, and it flutters down and lands on what seems to be the form of a giant Loxodon. And he pulls it away, and there it is. There's a creature that looks identical to the one that it had before. Roll me perception.
Oh, shit.
16.
That's a 21.
And
15.
19.
16.
All of you who rolled better than like a 14 can tell that although that looks very similar to the creature that you saw go under that is not the same one.
Boo.
Something is
Guy.
something is not right. And wait, who was the one that rolled the highest?
I got a 21. I don't know who got
Okay.
higher than me.
I was looking for anybody who got over a 20. You seem to smell the smell of a banishment smell. Spell.
Banishment?
You're not sure why you smell that, but something doesn't feel right.
Can never
A
escape.
smelly smell.
There's some fucky shit going on right now.
Yeah,
brother.
everybody claps for the most part, and everybody kind of disperses after that. He does some other stupid tricks, like pulls a rabbit out of the hat and flowers and shit, but nobody really cares.
Boo.
And flowers.
Whoa.
Boo. Boo.
Sid.
You banished him. Boo.
As soon as
Boo
you
this
say,
man. Boo him.
as soon as you say banish him, the magician's eyes get big as dinner plates. He is genuinely afraid of the fact that you just said that. He
Boo.
is like fucking scared.
Boo.
Nay.
I'm going to keep saying it. Banishment.
This old man's getting a fucking assassinated.
I see you there reacting. Banished.
You see that Alphalos, the ringleader,
Good noob.
the ringleader, he appears and he's kind of pissed off at you. He's like, "You again? Oh, what are you doing here?
Oh, me?
All of you. It seems that all the trouble that's been happening is all because of wherever you are. Go, go, go!" And he shoos you out of the area where that's happening.
He wants to pull out their bagpipes and play a song to annoy them.
If you do, you can. I mean, you're welcome
Start
to.
blaring Scotland
There-
forever.
There may be consequences. Alphalos. All right. So
Fucking back in black on
as soon as you start busting out the bagpipes, Alphalos looks at you like he's just like, "What the fuck?" And
It's like, I remember you.
there is a distinct knowing about who you are. He knows who you are, but because he wants to keep the circus going and doesn't want to interrupt everything, he just kind of bitches and then just stomps off.
Dad?
Punishment!
He's very uncomfortable. And oddly enough, the Loxodon that was there seems to have disappeared. It wasn't that he walked away. He just doesn't seem to be there anymore for some reason.
These bastards can't even get their show right.
You guys have a few more acts that you can go and visit. You
What
have
else is left?
Zoltan.
Sultan.
You have the Illustrated Band, the Barkling Acrobats, the Hook Horror, and of course, the B-Rex.
I want to send the B.
Alright, I gotta know what the fuck a B-Rex is.
I have a meep related question.
Okay.
Well, actually, does Meep, like, can we hold Meep or no? Does Meep
No.
walk on its own?
Meep is big.
It is very large.
Like, too big to be, like, in a backpack on your shoulder, Banjo-Kazooie style?
Like person big.
Meeps is probably about the size of you.
Yeah, Meep is our size.
Like, full
medium.
huge? Oh,
Meep is
god
4'6".
Like fucking
Oh,
bird
okay.
person, you.
Yeah. Slightly short. It's a short human.
And can Meep fly?
You cannot fly.
I think Eric Hawker can.
Meep is scared of
They
heights.
have a flight suit.
Oh shit, that's so good.
Okay, sick.
Oh my god, that's so great.
All right.
Eric
I
Hawker
am.
that's afraid of heights. That's
Oh,
so great.
scared of heights. Wow.
All right.
That's perfect.
Here's the B-Rex.
Whoa.
The motherfucking B-Rex.
So as
And
you
that's
guys-
just a drone. That's
Yeah,
not
it's
even the
just-
queen.
It's not. It's
What?
not.
Oh my god.
I know where you got that from too, because I follow that guy.
That's hilarious.
It was on Pinterest.
Oh my god.
I literally follow
Oh
him, and he makes a whole bunch of that, and he also makes Digimon ones.
Yeah.
Oh my
So,
Digimon.
So-
B-Rex.
as you guys kind of weave your way through the circus, you come across this massive cage with bars as thick as your legs, and inside is this creature. You know, you guys do know about dinosaurs, you know about insects, but this is something weird and different, and a lot of people would say an affront to nature.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
fucked.
And so,
Definitely back.
Was
Meep
never
knows
meant
his
to
friend.
be.
as you can tell, behind the creature, you know that there are people beginning to kind of build around the cage. You find that there is someone behind the cage with a long pointed stick, poking it really aggressively into the leg of the B-Rex.
Someone should murder that person.
Meep would like to throw a dart at the stick in his hand.
Roll me a d20. Actually, you could just roll the hit, right?
What do I roll to hit?
Should be on your thing.
Yeah, if you go to your actions, you should be able to see your actual weapons.
Oh,
Yeah, what's your class?
She's a bard.
Oh, okay, so it's like Dex, I think. Dex plus your
8 plus 4, I got a 12.
Oh. It
Wait, 8 plus
it's
what?
12 total.
Oh, okay, 8. Okay, yeah.
It's wiggling around, and although you're not a bad shot, it's just not. It wasn't enough to hit the stick. But you can always keep trying.
Can I?
Yeah, you can do it as many times as you want.
Yeah, we're not in combat, so
He-
you don't
he
have to
may-
like go by turns.
He may
Got a
notice. And,
17 this time.
yeah, that definitely hits. And as it hits the stick, it kind of shakes him, and he drops the stick. And right as he drops the stick, the B-Rex turns its head and looks at him
Give
him
him
the
the stick.
with the eye of a hungry killer.
Yeah, so whenever it does that, I'm gonna subtly cast thaumaturgy, and in his ear, he's gonna hear a noise originate right next to his ear, and it's just gonna go. "Ooh."
You hear an ominous hooting.
He flaps at his ear and like looks around in a very uncomfortable way and like rubs his hands on his clothes and like nervously just walks away.
It happens for up to a minute.
You notice that the B-Rex is looking at you, and he sees that you were the one who threw the dart. And there is an animalistic appreciation there behind his eyes.
It turns to you guys and says, "We have to save this friend too."
Sounds like a noble cause. I'm not great with locks, but I can certainly assist in anyone attempting to open.
Question for the DM. I don't know how familiars work. If we save this thing, can I keep it as a pet?
No.
Familiars usually work as they're kind of like an ethereal creature that you summon that's made of magic or a fae.
Well, it's not even that, and there are ways to have pets and stuff. It's not like that's an issue, but this thing is a bit more
Cumbersome.
Yeah, I mean it's
Can't ride around that B-Rex.
I mean you could, but you'd have to be like a level 20 to be able to deal with this thing. It's a fucking monster. It can poison people. It's got all kinds of like wild shit that it shouldn't have.
It's friend-shaped.
I don't think it's friend-shaped at all.
Oh, hey man, you know Meg, everything is friend-shaped.
Yeah.
All creatures in the kingdom.
It
are
is friend-shaped until it's not.
I'm pretty sure
That thing is.
How that works.
I can't describe.
Pride and Prejudice. There's no like, it's not a +1 or anything type weapon.
No.
So what do we do next? We have the
You guys.
illustrated man dude.
You guys can go to the Illustrated Man. You can go to the Hook Horror.
I believe this B-Rex should be freed at the same time that we release the owlbears later.
Yeah, we gotta save all the animals and kill one crow.
And kill one crow.
Must save all the friends.
You pull less than an animal,
Let's
that's a
save all the
bird.
friends. I'll take care of the crow.
Remember, it just looks like a crow. It doesn't necessarily mean it is a crow.
That's right. I don't trust mimics for some terrible reason.
Well, I don't think anyone should trust mimics to begin with, but you know.
For some reason, my right arm itches terribly.
So you guys have the Barkling Acrobats and the Hook Horror and the Illustrated Man left.
The first few times you said hook horror, my brain registered it as something that was not what you said.
Hooker.
Yeah, hook. No, it's a hook whore.
That's what I heard. I heard hook whore, and I was like, oh.
Wow.
It's a
What
hooker
could that
and
be?
a whore. Like we got the
ultimate.
B-Rex, we got the hook whore.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Let's go see her.
Yeah.
That is
Come on, come
terrifying
on.
even.
So which do you
Jape,
guys
it looks like your mother's an exhibit here.
Oh, shit.
I gotta go, guys. It's 9:30.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I mean, there's plenty left, so it's not like we don't have plenty for next time. If you guys do that, just call it a night.
Yeah, I gotta go.
But before you guys log off,
don't feel bad about continuing.
Everyone roll me a perception roll.
Well, we're between things, so this is probably a good stop anyway.
Yeah, it's not a bad stop.
5. No.
I got an 8.
10.
Natural 1.
I got a 15.
Excellent.
You got some hook whore juice in your eye.
Garrett,
I rolled a 17.
I'm too shaken, I'm telling you.
Garrett is the only one who recognizes this.
Really?
All of you.
I don't with my natural 20.
No, I'm literally.
He was going with low rolls that time.
Oh, I was about to say. I was like,
Garrett is the only one. I literally, it was only if anybody rolled a nat 1.
Oh,
Um,
lucky me. What eldritch abomination do I perceive?
Alphalos passes in front of you, and he glares at all of you as he passes, frustrated and
Done.
annoyed about your existence. But Samuel notices one thing that sets his vision apart from the rest of you. He notices a stray tentacle hanging out from the collar of Alphalos, purple and stringing along before he has a chance to tuck it back in.
Brr, emergency meeting.
Oh my god. No shit.
From the imposter.
And that is where we will.
Yeah.
That is where we will end next time on D&D.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Good night, guys.
All right,
Yeah,
night,
man.
bud.
Later,
Hey, man.
G's.
Nice.
Right. Garrett, when you get in this Baldur's Gate, man.
Oh, I don't know, man. I gotta find time for it.
It was
Yeah.
What game?
Baldur's Gate.
3.
Baldur's Gate?
Hell
it
yeah.
Three.
was